Hello everyone. What's up? I'm so excited to be here with you. It's a rainy, snowy, as you can see, it's snowing here in Chicago. Crazy. Let me just make sure that I am going live in the right place. And if you're joining live or if you're watching the replay, say hi. Let me just make sure that I test my sound. That is working. Let's see, because I just changed my microphone. Okay, it's working. Great. I'm so excited. Hi, Jessica. How are you? Good to see you here. So I'm so excited for today's training. I have so much for you guys because I wanted to talk about the 3 simple steps that you can follow in order to attract clients consistently, to allow clients to come to you consistently. And I'm super excited for this because there's like a balance between what people think they need and what they actually need. And I'm going to address the things that make a difference in your business and the things that are more secondary. So the first thing that I want to get started in uncovering as part of what helps you attract clients consistently is one small shift that you can make today in order to become more magnetizing to people in your audience. So here's what I want to say about this. This is kind of like the first step. The first step when it comes to attracting clients is really all about your belief that you are offering a magnetizing enough message. So it's all about belief work. And whether you have your message on point or not, what is so important that you start with is really thinking about, what do I need to be doing or who do I need to be in order to be a sold out coach? That is the most important, first step. What do I need to be doing? Who do I need to be in order to be a sold out coach? And I want you to ask yourself that question. What would I be doing if I was already showing up as somebody who was fully booked? Or if you are already fully booked and your next level is leveraging your time better with masterminds or group programs, then what would I need to be doing if I was already showing up, if I already had those results in my business? And this is so important because this is all about understanding that the way that you show up comes from your belief in the first place. That is the first place where you're showing up, is in your mind. So if you don't believe that you are a sold out coach, or if you don't believe that you are magnetizing enough to your audience, what's going to happen is that you're going to come from that place and show up as somebody who's not a sold out coach or who's not magnetizing to their audience. So I want you to start thinking about your ideal or your idol. This is a great exercise that I'm going to give you here. I want you to think about somebody that you really admire, who shows up being magnetic in their content, who offers shit that's amazing, that you admire from afar. And I want you to start thinking about, what are your thoughts about that person? How do you see them in the world? So for me, let's just say that I'm doing this exercise, I would think whoa, they're so amazing. All their content lands with me on such a deep level, or, oh, everything she offers is just so good. She's the perfect person to help me. Those are some of the thoughts that when I do this exercise, my clients come up with, right? So I want you to start thinking about your thoughts about other people who are already magnetizing or who are already sold out or who are at the level that you want to be. And just start noticing what are some of the thoughts. And I want you to put that, hi Diane, and I want you to put that on just write it down. Or if you want, pop it in the comments. Think about somebody that you admire and tell me what are your thoughts about them? Wow, she's amazing at blank, or her content is just so powerful. Drop something in the comments because I really want to work with one of whatever you guys are your answers. And I want to help you see how you can become that person. So Diane, I think that you're watching because I see you saying hi. So drop one of those lines because we've done this in the mastermind. So what was one of your answers? It can be as simple as everything that this person shares is just so good. Her offers are so amazing. Drop one of those lines in the comments. Or if you're just thinking about it, then, work with that. Diane says, you're the only one I watch online right now, LOL. So this is easy. Okay, well, great. One thought about me then. Whatever you think about me. And Anita said, thank you for your loving support. Oh, you're so welcome. Hi, Angelica. Okay. So I'm going to work with an option. Like, let's just say that you think about this person like, oh my God, her content is so good, right? Or like everything she says is amazing. So I want you to flip that. And every thought that you came up with about that person that you admire, instead of saying, she's so good, I want you to flip it and say, I am so good. I create magnetic content that like people love. My offers land with people on an amazing level. Like my offers, like people love my offers. Like, what are other thoughts that you need to be having about you if you were that sold out coach, right? Because this is all just about switching the belief that you have about you. You think right now that maybe you're not there yet. And what I want to challenge you to believe is that it actually starts with your mindset first. To become magnetic, it all has to start with you and what you're thinking about yourself. Because here's the thing. We teach people what to think about us. Like, you teach people what to believe about you. And if you don't believe it about you first, they're not going to believe it either. You have to believe it about yourself first. So way before I was, creating magnetic content all of the time and being sold out all the time and selling out my launches, I started thinking, instead of idolizing other people, I started taking that as an inspiration, and all the thoughts I had about them, I was like, what would it feel like if I thought that about me? Like, how would I be showing up differently in my business if I believed that about me? Like, that was that person that I wanted to be. So instead of being so much change in my business, you guys, this is when like I became truly magnetic, because I was not I was not consuming any more shit like from other people. I was like, wait a minute, sold out Juliana would be the one creating content. She would be the one making offers. She wouldn't be the one binging on someone else's content. She would be watching, but then creating most of the time, right? I'm going to catch up with some of your comments here. Diane says, I like how your message is bold and unapologetic, and your writing keeps me engaged until the end of the post. Oh, that's awesome. So what if you flip that to, I love how my message is bold and unapologetic, and my writing keeps people engaged until the end of the post. Like, I want you to practice that thought and that belief, Diane. Like, I want you to start showing up as that person, because guess what's going to happen? You're going to become an unapologetic. You're going to practice your writing, and then you're going to become that person, right? Diane says, agreed. You teach people what you think about you. I'm going to use this as content for a post. Hi, Stephanie. How are you? Beautiful. Good to see you. So, what do you need to believe about you in order to become a sold out coach? Whatever you're admiring about other people, you want to flip that and make that part of your own identity, right? Such a powerful, powerful exercise, because level 1 of being magnetic is really you believing in yourself first, you believing in your message and in your copy and in your offers and in what you offer, like, more than anyone else. Because what's going to happen is, if you don't have that belief as a foundation, you're going to go out there and start, doing creating offers or whatever, and then the feedback is not going to be instantly coming back to you. And if you're not rooted in that belief, like, wait a minute, I know I am. My offers will land. My offers are something that people love. Like, I create epic content. If you don't have that foundation and that belief, then that means that when the feedback comes back and is not positive, you're going to crumble and you're going to be like, wait a minute, I'm not amazing. And that's not true. It's just that you have to stay consistent until your reality matches that belief, right? And so that's level 1 of becoming magnetic, is really understanding that what you see and what you experience as other people being magnetic is, you just have to flip it and start believing it about you. Loving the neon line vibe. I know, this was kind of like, I didn't even plan this, but now I can see that it's matching. Thank you. Sweet. Okay. So that's step 1, right? Like, what do you need to shift? What do you need to believe about yourself in order to become magnetic? That's step 1, your belief. Now, let's start getting into the second part of this Facebook Live, which is when people get caught up in their niche. And so the question here is, does your niche actually matter? So here's what I want to tell you. I know people who have made tons of money without a niche. And all they say is like, I help people have it all, and things like that. And I've known people who fucking rocket in their business with a niche, like a really clear, specific niche. And so here's what I want to tell you. A niche, for those of you who don't know, like a niche is essentially who you target and what's the problem that you help them solve. And there's so much talk about you don't need a niche, you don't need to put yourself in a box. But here's what I want to tell you. You don't really need a niche to make money. Like, you don't really need one. All you need is to show up and offer value and make offers and deliver epic results for people. Like, that's really all you need. What I believe very deeply, because I've experienced it in my own business and I experience it with my clients, is that when you do have a really clear target audience and a niche, you get faster results because people know exactly what you help them with and who you help and what you help them with. And that just makes your marketing so much easier. So it's not like you need a niche in order to be successful and make money. Like, no, all you need is you showing up, being the coach that's already sold out and doing the things that you know are going to get you to that vision that you have for yourself. And that can look in many different ways, right? And it's really important. Like, if you want to accelerate your results, I so recommend, if you already are at the level of your business where you've kind of tried shit and, tried different audiences and different message and you're honing in that ideal audience that you want to work with, I highly recommend that you niche, because that's what's going to help you. Your message is going to be so much more clear. And that's just going to speed up your results. It's just going to save you time. You're going to collapse the timeline of how fast you're going to get to your result because you're just being so much more clear. So that's just to clarify, like, the confusion, like, do I need to stay stuck in my niche until I figure it out? Listen, all you need in order to make money, if you're just starting out, is to show up consistently, get clear on your message, and start showing up unapologetically and really show up consistently, add value, be of service, and make offers. That's like baseline level. You don't need a niche to do that, okay? But you have to. It's just going to take you a little longer because people are not going to really know what you're helping them with if you're not clear on that. And getting clear on your niche and in your message, it just accelerates your results and it positions you as a go-to coach or as a go-to provider in whatever niche you're in or whatever industry you're in. So it just accelerates your results. But no, you don't need it to make money. Like, you really don't. Just by your being who you are being in your industry, you can 100% attract clients. Let's see what Stephanie says. I help single women as well as women in relationships. So sometimes I'm not sure if I'm confusing my audience. I think you can. No, I don't think that you're confusing your audience if you help single women or women in relationships. I think that you want to maybe get clear more on what's the problem that you help them with. Because you can help two audiences. Like, for example, one of my clients, she helps super successful women, like getting to their feminine so that they can experience more ease in their lives and be more in their feminine, not so much in their masculine. But then she also helps super successful women who are in relationships balance their masculinity in their relationship so that they can have a more like connected and intimate relationship with their partners, because sometimes they're super in their masculine, and so she helps both women who are in relationships and women who are not. But essentially the problem that she helps them with is all related with softening into their feminine so that they don't hustle as much, so that they can magnetize things and be more at ease in their lives and gain more success and attract the men that they want, but without having to feel like they're the masculine energy in the room. So it's the same problem, two different audiences. And so I think, like, for you want to have content that speaks to both, and it depends if you have offers for those two different like niches, not niche, but audiences. But I think that the niche is the need, right? The niche is the need. That's all it is, right? And is a need targeted for a certain type of person, right? But I think the woman that you're probably helping is very similar. It's kind of like the before version or then the after version. Like, when she was single, then she gets into a relationship, and then there's probably relationship problems that she may have. And so I think you're helping the same person, but just at different points in their journey. So Marlene says, I help people become unstoppable by helping them get over their fears and limitations so that they can live the life of their dreams. Marlene, I love that you share your I help statement. And so, there's a little coaching here for all of you who want to experience some of my coaching actually. using things like so that they can live their life, I would get really clear on like what are fears and limitations. What do you really mean by that? And so that they can live the life of their dreams. That is something that people would consider a cliche. And even though it sounds really beautiful, then people are not going to understand what that means. And cliches tune people out. It's almost like live a happier life, live the life of your dreams, or like step into your potential. Those are things that are kind of vague. And so people are not really going to feel like they need, like, oh, that's what I need. So I would avoid using things like cliches in messaging, because then people are you're gonna blend in with everyone else, right? And it's okay if you're using it now. You can probably go out and create a bunch of content and a bunch of messaging and get more clear in each one of your posts about what is the problem that you help them solve, and like what is the before and after, or some of the situations that you've helped people with, so that like tagline, when people land on your profile, they look at your content and then it makes sense, right? So you can totally fly with that. But once you're like moving to the next level, I would avoid like using that kind of like step into your fullest potential or things like that, because then that just tunes people out. They're like, that's kind of general and vague, right? And so this leads me to the final point of this, which is so important. This literally ties in perfectly. So here's the thing, and the reason why it's important to have, like, I want to teach you guys 3 questions that you can use in order to audit your message and make sure that your message is clear and is powerful. So I'll give you those questions in a second, but here's why it's important to have a clear message. Because our brains are doing 2 things, are wired to do 2 things. One is survive and thrive. And that's actually like the main thing. We're actually always surviving, or we want to thrive, right? Like those are the main things that we're always doing. And so because that's just the way that our primitive brain works. This is our lizard brain, the primitive part of us that's always going off instinct. So we're always thinking of like, how can we survive and thrive, right? Those are the 2 things we're always moving. So away from, is this going to help me survive and or is it going to help me get to the next level? And so here's the thing, that if you are not clear on how your service, your product is going to help somebody survive or thrive in a really clear way, your message is going to be ignored. Because nowadays we receive 3,000 marketing messages a day, especially now that we have social media and there are 2 million entrepreneurs actively marketing online. Like, we're not the only ones, right? There's so many marketing messages. So if you're vague, people are just going to overlook you, or they're going to say, oh, she's kind of inspiring. That sounds kind of cute. But they're not going to see it as, oh my God, I need that, because that's going to help me survive, like get out of this uncomfortable place that I'm in and get to that next level, right? And so what's really important is that if you're helping people overcome their fears and step into their next level of their life, then I want you to get more clear. For example, for you, Marlene, what are the specific problems, like in what context, right? What are the main problems that you're helping them with? And then what's the main result that you help them solve? Or like who are you helping mainly? Because I know you said people, but like there are so many people, right? So are you a life coach, or are you a business coach, or are you a hypnosis coach? So there are so many different options that there's space for you to be even more clear, so that when you talk to people in like 10 seconds, and if you're like, hey, I help, entrepreneurs clarify their message so that they can have more clients who pay in full. Like, to me, that is super clear. And then people are going to be like, ooh, I need that. Right? But if you're vague, our brains literally just like tune out, and they don't absorb, they don't pay attention. People don't pay attention unless you're really clear. So that's why it's important that you massage your message and make it as clear as possible. And then you can talk about, like your tagline can be really, or your I help statement needs to be clear. And then you can, in your content, be a little bit more, not vague, but expand more into all the types or fears or obstacles, and then paint the vision of what it looks like to work with you and the result that they're going to experience. All right, I'm going to catch up with some comments. Diane says, I help high-performing women unlock their inner queen so that they can have unshakable confidence. Not bad, right? That's a great place to start. High performing women, so I know that they're successful women, right? Unlock their inner queen. I think we've talked a little bit about this. Like, what does that even mean, right? Like, what does an inner queen mean? So that they can have unshakable confidence, right? So like there is something that's like clear but still a little bit vague. But what I recommend for you, because you're just starting, like you're kind of getting in the flow of your message, is to go with that, and in your content be more specific about their current situation and then what is it going to look like after they work with you. Marlene says, makes sense. Thanks a lot. Mindset coach for entrepreneurs. And Marlene, I would add that you are I help entrepreneurs, right? And do you help entrepreneurs who are just starting out, maybe starting their businesses, or are they at 7 figures? Like you can even get even more clear around that, right? Or maybe entrepreneurs who've been in business for 1 year or 2 years, right? Like there are simple ways to really make your message more poignant and more clear. And that is that's what's going to bring the clients. Is going to make you more magnetic, because then people are not wondering like, is she for me? I don't know if she's for me. Maybe, right? So you have to as much as you can be specific, but then use your content to address all the tiny little different problems that you want to address, or maybe the visions that you want them to have as it relates to the result they're going to experience working with you. So, with that said, let's see if I have any other notes that I want to share, because I want to give you the 3 questions. How to do a self-message audit to make sure that your message is clear and not confusing. Okay, so I want to give you a first question, and I want you guys to tell me what your score would be. Okay, and maybe you need to feel into it, and maybe just like touch in your heart, like put your hand in your heart and let me know. So the first question is the message that you are communicating helping your ideal clients understand how you can help them survive and thrive? And I want you to rate that from a scale from 1 to 10. Is the message that you're communicating to your clients helping them understand how your service helps them either survive or thrive? And again, just to clarify what that means is surviving means how can I get out of the situation that I'm in right now? Because is this going to help me move to the next level? And is this going to get me out of this uncomfortable situation that I'm in? Is your message clear enough that it communicates how it can help somebody not just thrive, but also survive, meaning get out of the current situation that they're in? Because here's the thing. I know that people don't like talking about this, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be really honest here. I'm all about marketing messaging that is more aspirational than fear-based. 100,000,000%. I don't ever use any fear-based tactics in my marketing. But here's what you want to know about humans. This is not about marketing. It's about humans, operating how we operate. That's how we are always thinking how can I avoid pain and seek pleasure? That is how our brains work. So you want your message to say, hey, this is going to help you avoid pain, and this is going to be a pleasurable experience at the end of the day, or you're going to experience a certain level of pleasure. That is what's going to make your people's brains be like, oh my God, I need her. She's speaking to me. It's just because you're appealing to how you're going to help them survive or thrive. Okay. Anita says, I help people uncover their true gifts so that they can do what they love with ease. Nice. I think there could be some more clarity there. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next question. Can your ideal clients name the main problem that you help them solve? If you ask them. If I went to ask somebody in your audience, or maybe even your clients, but somebody in your audience, if I went to ask them hey, what does Stephanie help people with? What does Marlene help people with? Would they be able to answer that? And I want you to, from a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being hell no, to 10 being absolutely, rate yourself. If I ask somebody, what would they say? Would they be able to clearly say what's the problem that you help people with? That's another question. And the final question, is your message clear and simple? That's it. Is your message clear and simple? Clear, meaning it speaks to a certain person, it's clear in the problem that you solve, and is easy for me to say, oh yeah, that's me. It's easy for people to say, oh yeah, that's me. Or are people going to be okay, so who do you help? What is it that you actually do? Right? So is your message clear and simple from a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being not clear, not simple, 10 being absolutely clear and simple. I want you to rate yourself. And sharing the comments if you're open to it, or if you don't want to, don't worry. But here's what I want to tell you. Like, when you have a clear message, that is when people, like, when you're going to notice that you're just becoming so magnetic because you have the belief and you have the clarity on your message and you're showing up consistently. It's just like the compound effect of all of those things literally make everything like make the momentum unstoppable. So what I want to share with you, if this resonated with you, I want to invite you to book a marketing makeover session with me where I help you identify how can you clarify your message even more so that you can actually attract the people that you want to attract. And it's just our 60-minute call. Literally, I just want to understand what your business is. It's free. Where is your business at? Who you want to attract? What is your current message? And I will help you identify what are the current growth improvements for your niche, your message, your audience, whatever it is that you're doing to attract those people so that you can actually start attracting them now. And I'm going to put the link in the comments just so that you have it, because seriously, there are so many small things that you can do that can make a huge difference in my, in your client attraction efforts. Like, one of my clients went from selling pay what you can sessions. I literally booked a session with him, and it was pay what you can. It was like he's a mindset high performance coach, and he was just marketing himself as a mindset coach. And I bought this pay what you can session, and I was like, you're so amazing. And then he ended up hiring me. We started working together, and 3 months later, he turned out to make $25,000. So we went from like pay what you can, which is devaluing your work, to making $25,000 in just 3 months, just by simply identifying, like, one of the main things we did is just identify, like, what are the small things in your message that you can fine tune in order for you to get those results. So I want to offer you the opportunity to chat with me so that we can identify how we can fine tune your message. And then you can go away. Like, and if you want to work with me later on more things, that's fine. But if not, I still just want you to continue implementing that message and really be clear about what you want to do for the rest of the year, in terms of creating content and attracting clients, how you can use that as a foundation for you to really own who you want to help. So I'm going to drop. Hi, Bridget. How are you? Nice to see you here. It's not typing. Okay, I'm going to drop the link in the comments. So calendly.com/Julia. Wait, why isn't it typing, you guys? Here we go. Book a call. It's going to be the best. We're just going to have a lot of fun. And again, like, if you want to work with me on the rest, that's fine. And if you don't, it's all good. But I want you guys to have a clear message, because that is the foundation for everything else, for your content, for everything else. So that's what I have for you today. It was so amazing chatting with you. If you haven't watched, if you tuned in late, then watch the replay, because it was so good. Thank you so much all of you for joining. I love you so much, and stay tuned, because guess what? I forgot to tell you this. The Expose Your Truth Challenge version 2 is coming. So if you arrived here after the Expose Your Truth Challenge, I'm sure all of you have gone through it or have downloaded it, because that's basically the reason for this group. But guess what, guys? I'm launching the new version of the Expose Your Truth Challenge in like a week probably. I'm just going to update the prompts, and I'm going to give you brand new prompts, and we're going to just run with it all over again. So it's going to be 30 days of content. So 30 prompts for 30 days to help you expose a truth about you. And this time I'm going to make it more focused on sales. So I'm going to ask you to talk more about your offer, and like just talk more about your values, like as a business owner, and like what you believe in, your personal philosophy, and all these things. And so I'm going to give you more examples of all the content that I have created after I did my first version of the Expose Your Truth Challenge. I'm going to take my best 150 performing posts. I'm going to boil it down to the best 30, and I'm going to give you all of those prompts. So stay tuned for that, because it's going to be a great way for you to end the year having a lot of clarity on, or just showing up, being visible, and actually talking about the things that are going to magnetize clients to you. So stay tuned for that. Diane says, this was a great mindset shift. Thank you. I love you. Nanita says, you're amazing. Thank you. Oh, Nanita, thank you. Marlene, thank you so much. Mwah. Bridget says, thank you. This is exactly what I need right now. Ah, so good. I'm so happy that you're back in the game, Bridget. So good. I'm always such a fan of just how you show up. So, so good. All right, my loves. Love you all so much. Thank you for tuning in. And let's see. How do I stop this? Oh, that's right here. Love you. Bye. See you next week.